Hey, what's going on, guys? Another day, another dollar as we get into our daily bill search video. Thanks for joining me on my channel, Variety Airs. And subscribing, liking, sharing to your friends, and just being part of the hobby. But let's get right to it. We're going to start off with a little date bill, so that's kind of cool, or birthday note. I mean, birthday wouldn't really be appropriately fitting naming this serial number because it's, you know, nobody's alive still from the year 868. But this would be January 8th, 868. I call it a date bill. It might not be collectible to you. I don't, off the top of my head, know anything that happened on that date, but I'll look it up and put it in the description box. But I like to keep those and just look up a historical fact for that date. Maybe something interesting happened on January 8th, 868. We're not sure, but we'll find out. It's a Series 2013. It's real beat up. Other than that, the serial number itself is not, like, super collectible. Also, I mean, just from sheer condition of the bill, even if it was a fancy serial number, it'd definitely not be as collectible due to that. Let's look at the reverse of the bill. Let's see. Everything looks fine on the reverse of the bill. Nothing's jumping out at me as like an ink error or something like that. This bill actually got mixed in, so I'll set that aside. That's a bill that got drawn on. And swap these bad boys around. There, so it's a $20 bill. This is going to be a Series 2013 as well. It's after they changed up the $20 bill in 2009. They did a couple different denomination graphics changes and anti-counterfeiting changes on bills over that period of time. So you'll see that on the $5 bill, the $50 bill, a couple other ones. But they're looking to do graphics changes coming up. There's nothing collectible with this serial number, so no fancy serial number. We have some ink up here, probably from a counter stamp or just somebody writing on the bill or whatever. Everything else seems to be appropriate on the obverse of the bill, so let's look at the reverse. We can see that bleed through of ink up here. Kind of tilt it towards the camera just so you can see it a little better. We can see it got pressed pretty hard when it was getting printed, hence why you can see this serial number kind of protruding through the back of the bill, but that's not very collectible unless you can see quite a bit of the serial number. We'll move on. Everything's kind of out of whack on this pile, so we'll flip this around. Next we got a $10 bill, so we're going through different denominations, which is cool. On the newer $10 bills, the series number is going to be right here, right above this 10. That's on the bottom left-hand side. The serial number here, nothing really crazy. When I first looked at it, I thought it might be a broken ladder, but I don't see anything really collectible with it, so, you know, hey, whatever. Condition's great on the bill, though, but everything's printed pretty appropriately. The seals are printed, nothing's shifted, and it's cut right, so nothing collectible jumping out. Same as on the reverse. Next, we got a $5 bill. Series 2013. So like I mentioned earlier, there was a graphics change in 2009. Which obviously transitioned over to the newer prints of bills. But from 2009 to 2013, there was also a Secretary of the Treasury change, so that kind of factored in, I guess, a little bit too. Everything's printed real. I like $5 bills a lot. I know I say that a lot, but they are my favorite as far as the background depiction. This one's been burnt. You can actually see a burn mark on the right-hand side, the right edge. Let's look at that. So, condition's definitely a factor if it was collectible. It's sitting really low, though, so that's kind of neat, but not collectible. It's an okay serial number. I mean, if we would have had another 3 here instead of an 8 or something like that, it would have been a little nicer, but, you know, unless it's basically 2 digits repeating, even trinary notes, unless they're really good, I'll show one in a video over the weekend that I put together of various people in our group that have found really good bills. But trinaries themselves have to be good as well. This one's not either one of those, so it's not a binary or trinary note. Binary being two digits. But it is a nice looking bill. I mean, it's a doll hair, you know, so whatever. The reverse of the bill is pretty beat up. You can see a lot of discoloration around the edges from water and sweat and all that good stuff. It's nothing collectible there. This one I can already tell the condition's something to keep in mind. Serial number is not anything crazy, but this seal here is printed quite far over. Normally, you would, if you look at like this dollar bill, for example, the top one would be more of your standard print. The one on the bottom, you can see that seal on the right-hand side. The Department of the Treasury seal is sitting quite far over, but unless it's not on the E at all, I would say it's not really a shifted print and not collectible. This $1 bill here. Nothing crazy with the serial number. I wish I can get another radar bill soon. That would be really nice. E's for Richmond, Virginia, as far as the Federal Reserve Bank on this seal here. Everything else is printed right. It's shifted a little bit too, but not as severe as the one previously. Series 2013. But nothing really crazy on the obverse of the bill. Let's look at the reverse of the bill. Nothing really nuts on there either. First glance, I thought maybe we had an ink issue right here, but there's not. It's just kind of the weird way it got printed. I don't normally see a pressing way up here on this upper one, so that's kind of new, but once again, not really. I'll try to get it close to the camera so you can see it. But nothing really collectible there. Another Series 2013. I have a lot of ones in my pocket money this time around, so hey. Ones are probably the easiest to bill search because we come across those a lot more readily. I don't see anything crazy collectible about this one. Everything's in good condition though, which is cool. A little bit of stray ink up here, but that's probably post-production type of stuff. Same deal here. This one's really beat up, so I'll kind of just shoot through this one. This one doesn't even look like anything's worth talking about. Another $1 bill. Series 2013 as well. We know that a lot of times we'll see heavy inking on the third digit of the upper right-hand serial number. But in this case, there's not really. It's pretty much your standard bill. Also, that's not as collectible since it is pretty much apparent across the gamut of bills from the 2013 series of $1 bills. This one's a little bit interesting. So, for example, it's very small on this one, but you can notice that second 7 sitting a little bit higher than the rest of the bill. Also the 1. That's known as an odometer bill, is what I like to call it. Really, this is what throws it off. So if you look at the 10 on the end of the bill, it's sitting higher than the rest of the bill. That's just because it's slightly shifted as it got printed. And I like to label those odometer bills because it looks like an odometer in like your vehicle spinning around. So, kind of collectible. This one's not as severe as ones I've seen, but definitely cool, so I will set that aside. And last but not least is another $5 bill with good old Abe Lincoln on it. Nothing crazy with the serial numbers. Series 2013. There's a lot of, looks like a lot of straight, like little line of ink up here. And nothing on the reverse of the bill. So, let's go back to our 2 bills that we're going to hold on to out of this daily bill search, if I can put them in the right direction. The top bill is going to be one that's an odometer bill. I'll show that close one more time in case you missed it. It's very hard to tell, but just faintly, that 10 on the end there of the serial number is slightly higher. So I'm going to set that aside. I mean, it's cool. And then on this guy here is a date bill, being January 8th, year 868. So I will look up an event that happened on that day and put it in the description box. Maybe you're interested in that too. I like the history behind money, where it's been, and historical stuff, even though it doesn't have to do specifically with this bill. But either way, 2 small finds are better than no finds, and I appreciate you checking out another daily bill search video on Variety Errors. Subscribe and like to the channel if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.